Hello. Hey guys, it's Brittany and Jen. Welcome to another episode of Ambition After Hours.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. We hope you're excited to be here too.
We really hope you're excited to be here. Okay, Jen, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about quarter four. It wants a marketing plan. So our resident expert Britt here is going to give us, some really good advice on a marketing plan, how to push through to really make your last quarter pay.
Yeah, I love it. It's been a minute since we've done a marketing episode, so.
Yeah, I'm excited. You always have such great things to say, and I'm always here for the learning. It wouldn't be Ambition After Hours, though, if we didn't do our high and our low.
This is true.
So why don't you start us off with your high?
Okay. My high is, I have so many,
Yeah.
My high today is that we haven't done a marketing episode since season 1, where we did it at my house. So it seems like, synchronicity that we're doing a marketing episode at my house for season 2.
Yes.
Which I love.
I think that's going to be great. I think it is great.
Yeah. What's your high?
My high is that we are dressed the same, but we didn't ask each other. I showed up today and we're in gray t-shirt, black leggings form today, just winning at life. So mine's sports, hers is Nirvana, winning.
Yeah. You know what? I think, like you said in one of our episodes, you start to become the people you spend the most time with.
It's true.
We're starting to become each other, which is great. I have no qualms if I become more like you.
No, I'm good with it. I'm leaning full into it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Someday you're going to turn on this video and you're just going to see one person turning their head side to side saying different things. It's going to be awesome.
To ourselves. What's your low though?
Yeah, my low is... Yeah, I don't know. I do have a low. Last night I golfed so shitty. And the day before that, I golfed so good. And I know that golf giveth and golf taketh away. But when it takes away, it still pisses me the hell off. I haven't had a score that bad, I think, all fucking season.
Yeah.
But I remembered to be a goldfish. And I held in my anger. And I was a joy to be in the cart with for the whole round, even though I was playing bad. And I waited to have my meltdown until I was in the car with Ryan on the way to Brown's, where we were going to eat afterwards. And he was like, do you want to just stay in the car? And I was like, no. And then I got my shit together. So I'm learning how to be a goldfish.
Ryan's a trooper, but he should know that I deal with that on a weekly basis. So
you weren't here on Thursday. You did not come to golf on Thursday. Liar.
Oh, gosh. Okay. You are getting better, though, I have to say.
I fucking better be. With the amount of time, energy, effort, and money I spend on golf, God help me if I don't break 100.
Welcome to our episode where we are going to swear a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
It's golf. It just brings the F-bombs out of me.
F-bombs out of you. My low is last night I stubbed my toe so hard.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. I was playing with the dogs in the living room and on the chaser bed thing that we have, and I kicked it so hard, and now I'm a little limpy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Do you think it's broken?
No, it's not. Definitely not. But I'm just being a baby, maybe.
Am I supposed to answer that? I feel like it's a trap.
But that has to be one of the most annoying things, when you stub your toe.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And really good stuff. So anyways, that is my low. It's not golf.
It's never golf because you're there for the vibes. I know. Not for the score.
That's really my personality is if I'm showing up, I'm just there to have a great time.
Yeah. All right. So.
Yeah.
Friendly reminder. Q4 is upon us.
Yeah. Probably by the time this episode goes live, we'll be just starting Q4.
Yeah. So we need a holiday marketing plan. We need to push through and really make our quarter 4 count.
Yeah.
And, we did a financial episode, so hopefully you have your Q4 financial shit together. And so, I think September through December can be some of the most valuable months of the year if you put your foot on the gas, which not a lot of people do.
Sure. I think I often, as a marketer, see people like, love their summer. No one really wants to talk to us unless it's like doing cool merch or like, something for a golf tournament, whatever. And then kids go back to school. Parents still kind of remain busy, or like life kind of remains busy up until like mid-October. And then all of a sudden it's like holiday panic. And then by then you're like, okay, but now we have to come up with a plan that takes more time. Then you're not really getting ramped up until like November. And then
You're late.
You're late. You're late to the party. So I think if you are a business that wants to hit it hard in Q4, start in September as soon as you can. As soon as you hear this episode, you should be focusing on your marketing going forward. A lot of businesses, like business owners, we like to enjoy summer, but sometimes that can be like the best time to start your marketing because then you're like ahead of your competitors in that way.
For sure. So if you are not well versed in marketing and you've never really heard the term marketing plan, talk to me a little bit about what that might look like. What does a Q4 marketing plan look like? What things does it include? What things should we be watching for?
Yeah, so much like you tell people to review their finances and set their goals, that's exactly what you should be doing with your marketing. Like, how many new clients do you want to obtain? And then work back from that. Now, what are we going to do to obtain those things, right? Because at Fox and Forth, we do many facets of marketing. We do promo, we do planning, we do social, we do ads, we do many of those things. And I don't think necessarily when I say, hey, marketing, it should be all in one bucket.
Okay.
You should be looking at your marketing and being like, okay, like how many network events am I going to show up to? How many things am I going to sponsor? How many social media ads am I going to do? Do I have someone actively managing my brand so it shows up? Like, all of these things will feed into your overall goal.
So when I think Q4, I do think a lot of the things that you talked about, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, a bazillion Christmas parties, and client gifts. So how much of that should we be participating in as small business? And then also, how can we make the most of those activities so that we're really getting bang for our buck for all of the like holiday chaos that happens between, because I kind of think it starts even in September, like you have back to school and then Thanksgiving and then, Christmas.
I think it's like holiday, like from now until then, we obviously have like some form of holiday happening.
Yeah.
Right. But I think you need to sit down and look at your numbers and decide what that means for your business. Like everyone says like, oh, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we should do like big discounts and clearance and this, that, and the other thing. But like, is that actually like good for your business? Are you going to make more money? Or should you frame it in a way that it's an offer that isn't causing you to cut your prices or give things away for free?
I love that. Oftentimes they say, like from a financial perspective, that if you add something, like if you buy this much, you get this thing, that's much less expensive for your business in terms of value versus cost than it is to discount. Because if you discount, you're just taking revenue right off the top line. If you add something, you're adding something that maybe you pay $10 for, but the client sees value of $25. And to get that same value at a discount, you just have to discount 25. So I love that idea from a numbers perspective.
I mean, it's kind of like speaking the same language, right? But I think I need you to sit down with your books, sit down with your accountant and find out your biggest product, the one that makes you the most money, and then stop treating it like the other 12 services you offer and like really lean into that. Because if your goal is to make more money and not have to put out as much work, then you should be reevaluating your stuff like that in a marketing perspective, right?
For sure. For sure. So we talked a lot about planning, or a little bit about planning actually, and what you should include in that. So I just want to circle back. Like if I'm sitting down to do my Q4 plan. Specifically for Q4, I'm a business. Like, can you talk to me about how the different pieces of the things that happen in Q4 work together? Like, talk to me about, can you give me an example of how I would link like my social to my website, to my events I'm attending, to my like a cohesive marketing plan? Can you walk me through an example of that?
Like a little bit of free consulting, is that what you're asking me for right now?
I mean, yeah, I totally am. Not for my business, but just as a rule. Like, give me an idea of the secret sauce. Give me just enough.
Yeah, I think it comes with like looking at your seasonal offers, like what is making you the most money in this quarter, and then making your website, your social, everything that you're talking about link back to that, right? So like your social might be talking about, this X offer. And then when they drive to their website, that's the first thing that they see and can access. Because the thing about people is we have like 2 seconds to capture them and then they're on to the next thing. So if you are not consistently showing them every step of the way the thing that they're interested in, you're going to lose the client.
Yeah, we have the attention span of a gnat.
So like even when you're talking at a networking event, you're talking about that offer, then those people who are in your community that follow you online, they're seeing that offer. And then when they're seeing that offer and they're going to the landing page, it is that offer, and giving that, like, it has to be very like bang, 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 or else see you later. You're going to lose the sale.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. We got to have some cohesion in there, kids.
I think that's like, it might seem like you're talking about the same thing over and over and over again, but like people have to see you an average of 22 times before they even buy your product. So
22?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is like a lot, right? So it might seem to you like you're sounding like a broken record, but to capture that, that's kind of like what you need. And I could talk about people who just like don't talk about what they offer all day long, right? But
yeah, I mean, I suppose you could, but I think maybe you could tell us a little bit about what are people already buying from you and how we could frame that in a holiday way. Like, do we have to do that? Or like when we're thinking about holiday, how do we bring our most profitable product into that?
Yeah, and I think it comes from talking to or reviewing your books, talking to your experts, what this year has been more profitable for you, and then how do you work with your marketing team, or how do you work internally to spin that into a holiday way to increase revenue?
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, for product and service business, it's really easy. You're having a Christmas sale, you're buying gifts, like it's really good, easy messaging. But maybe for a coaching business or something, it might look a little bit different. Now you're talking about like, are you prepared for the new year? Are you hitting the new year with your goals? Here's my package. Here's how we're going to do that to get you prepped. Like sales language, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how you talked about consulting too, because I think, in a B2B world, which is where I am, sometimes we think we're kind of exempted from the holiday craziness. So in B2B world, the holidays come and then everyone sends out the same chocolates to the same people. And I feel like it's so generic. Like if someone really wants to stand out in the B2B world in terms of client gifting, what are some like quick hit, like top 3 things, or how do you help people? How can people stand out from the client gift boredom that is December?
Yeah.
I mean, not saying I'm not grateful for chocolate, kids. If you're sending me chocolate, please.
I mean,
continue.
I would be grateful for chocolate too. So if you want to send it to me, I'll take
it.
But
I'm saying, like, if we're trying to get the most for our money, right? We want to make sure that we stand out.
Yeah. One thing, well, it's different for every business because, when we work with clients, we really take their brand into effect. But I think it's something that 1, aligns with your brand. 2, is like very memorable. 3, do you really need to send something out during the holiday?
I love that.
For me, I do like little things throughout the year and not necessarily like one big gift around Christmas.
Yeah.
Like it'll be anything from, when Fox and Forth has a birthday, I send my clients a birthday card.
Oh, that's cool.
and like a little gift, and then they open it and it says like happy birthday, and then they probably think like, oh, this chick doesn't even know my birthday, but then the card opens up and says like, Fox and Forth is actually celebrating our birthday. We wouldn't have been here without you. Thank you so much for getting us here, or like whatever the case may be, right? So it's like those things throughout the year, not necessarily has to be like, because would you rather be like one of 12 chocolate boxes on the office table, or would you want to just appear at a time where they didn't even expect it, right?
Yeah, I love that. I think that would stand out amazing. And also it's so appreciative, and appreciation, I think whenever I've been appreciated by another business, it just hits different. It hits better.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever got a gift that you're like, you like remember it, and like what did it come to you as?
You know, we had one meeting, and it was during busy season, and you were helping us plan for, I want to say, our client appreciation event maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
And I was talking about how I eat condiments in tax season. Like I'll have like, you know, crackers and cottage cheese and like a can of tuna. Like I don't eat meals. I just like eat items.
Yeah.
And a couple days later, this like basket shows up with food in it, real food. And the card was just like, just want to make sure you're not eating condiments all tax season. And I was like, that is such a memorable gift. I still talk about it. I still tell people about it. But it's just that like, we were in a B2B situation. And I think this was kind of before even that we became besties. Like we were still kind of new, but like building our business relationship. And I just remember thinking how thoughtful, but also what a great way to prove that you're paying attention. You know, like when you're in a meeting with a client, they say a lot of things about who they are and who their business is. And then days later, something shows up that supports the business I'm in, the time of year I'm in, and my number one problem that is outside of marketing. And what I got from that is you're paying attention. If you're paying that much attention to one meeting, obviously you're going to put that much care and attention to my marketing. Yeah. So that was probably my most memorable one.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad that I could be your most memorable.
Yeah, of
course. That's so exciting. But I do think that is my brand, right? Like I'm a marketer. I listen to what people need and I execute and get them the goals that they wish, right? So it's just also like my style is like, you know, to listen and like, you know, show up for people. So, yeah, I'm so glad that it like checked the box with you, but also was very on brand for me.
Yeah.
So
perfect. I heard you say that consultants should be talking about getting ready for next year. And we're talking about creating a Q4 marketing plan. Yeah. Makes me think that if we're in Q4, should we already be thinking about our next year's marketing plan? And if so, what kind of things would you look at for your year-long marketing outline that you don't necessarily need to revisit or that you wouldn't pay as much attention to when you're doing like a quarter by quarter?
Yeah, so I think you should always be thinking about your marketing. Of course, I'm going to say that. But I think you look at last year, what's the stuff that you did that made you money? What's the stuff that you did out of the goodness of your heart that you really enjoyed doing? And then what stuff was a flop, right? Yeah. And then take those two, the ones that you love doing and the ones that made you money, and do more of those. Yeah. You know, I think, at least that's like kind of what I do, right? Yeah. And I think it's part strategy, right? And you have to make sure that you're not just doing one avenue of marketing, right? You're testing and measuring things that work. So like, you know that events or networking works, good, keep that in the thing. But if there's one avenue that you haven't really tested yet, then that's how you bring it in, you test it, and then maybe it will be another avenue that you enjoy giving back to, or, you know, you enjoy doing it, or it makes you money. Because I mean, like, let's be honest, we're all in business to do things that we love. Yeah. And if it makes us money, that's also a plus. Yeah, you know? Sure. And if you're a business owner that has grown to a point where you're like, that's so great, but I have like freaking no time to look at my marketing, that's probably your sign to look like at externally to hire someone to do that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because I do think like marketing and growing your business is great. And we've all been in the point in your business where you've been like so flat out busy that you've left your marketing, and then what happens?
The sales dip.
The sales dip. And then by the time that the sales have dipped, then you're in panic mode and you're like, I need to run ads. I need to do something. I need to network. I need to get out there. I need to, oh my God, what is happening? And then you're kind of behind the 8 ball. So if I was going to give you any advice, it would be like once a year, review everything that you've done. Then, by the first quarter, you lean into the stuff that's already making you money. By summer, you can do the things that you love, and you can start testing something maybe you haven't tried.
So if I'm setting my marketing budget, you know how I love to take things back to budget for next year.
Yeah.
How much of my marketing budget should I devote to the things that I know are doing well and doing those same things or a little bit more of those things? And how much of my total marketing budget should I be devoting to something new? Either like a new media or a new tagline or whatever it is. Like how much of my total budget should I use for that test and measure piece that you talk about?
So I think it's different for every business, right? Like I have some clients, I get them one lead and they make $1 million.
Yeah.
So that investment is going to be different than, if you have a lower ticket item that you're selling. Mm-hmm. But you can maybe answer this as a CPA, is like what percentage of your revenue should go into your marketing?
Yeah, I think it depends industry by industry for sure. I think we should try something new every year though, right? Like we should leave a little bit of our total budget, even our total marketing budget aside for something we haven't tried yet. Because we could be leaving sales on the table, right?
Like I don't necessarily think that the marketing thing you try, it has to be something that's, huge.
Yeah.
But where you come into maybe if I haven't hired someone to do my marketing yet, that's going to be your biggest marketing try, right? That's what's going to cost you probably the most money.
Yeah.
Is now investing in professionals to execute that for you. But also, we take a lot of responsibility if we don't get you the results, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like you're more likely to get results when you're using a professional than you are when you're just like, I'm going to post some stuff and see what happens.
And I mean it's great if you do your own marketing, you get your own results and that's fine. But then the buck stops with you, right? Yeah. And then you get busy, and then does your marketing take the back burner?
Yeah, is it your unique ability that you bring to your own business? Is it marketing? If it is, great. If it's accounting, maybe we leave that to the experts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think for newer businesses, you obviously want to do it all, but I think for the people that we specifically deal with, they hit a point in their business where they're like, you do it. You make me look good. You make us money. You do it. And we're like, okay, yeah, we love that for ourselves.
So you once told me something that I was just in shock about. You said for most people, their existing customers are sitting right there. And that's where the money is. Can you talk to me a little bit more about tapping that resource and explain to me what you meant by your customers are sitting right there?
Yeah. I mean, as a CPA, you probably know it's more money to find a new customer and obtain a new customer than it is to deal with your old ones. And I don't think enough companies are remarketing internally. I meet with a ton of companies and I'm like, hey, do you have a marketing strategy on how to deal with your old clients? Or do you have even a newsletter or something that reaches back out to them just to remind them, right? Because again, we have very short attention spans and people can just forget, Yeah,
you don't want to give your competitors an opportunity to drive a wedge, right?
Yeah. Or just, whatever. So that's what I mean is do you have a remarketing campaign, a way to kind of stay top of mind? And it doesn't have to be a newsletter. It could be a event that you throw or something you send them in the mail or there's a million ways and budget levels to deal with that.
Yeah.
But you need to keep top of mind.
Yeah.
And as a marketer, I could say that a million times is you need a way to re-engage those clients because you'll make money off of them. Like, for example, I'll give you an example I used actually in my own business is a couple of weeks ago, we have vendors that send us stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And so they send us their like fall launch stuff. And I had just like quickly put together like an email and sent it to like some of my clients. And then like 2 weeks later, I just get like an order to my inbox being like, hey, thanks so much for thinking about us and sending us that. Can I order like 5 things off that and like get it going? And I was like, yeah, for sure. But like if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have got that order.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then I think she ended up sending it to like her husband who works at another company. And like, you never know who it lands with either. Right.
What I love about what you said too, because I feel like sometimes we're worried to sell to our current clients because we don't, well, selling sometimes feels uncomfortable, but also we don't want to jeopardize the relationship. Yeah. And what I love about that example is when the client received the email, their response was grateful. You thought of me. You thought these are things that might be great for my business. You proactively reached out to me, which took something off my list, reaching out to you and provided me a service. So I think what I love about that strategy and what you said there is like when we're thinking about our own businesses, we don't have to think like we're selling something to our current clients. What we should be thinking of is like, what else could I offer them that would be helpful for them, right? So really we're doing them a service. We're being like, hey, I noticed this about your business. I could solve it this way if you'd like to. And you don't know that they're not sitting there being like, ugh, I have this problem. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. Or I have to reach out to Brittini, or I have to reach out to Jen, or whatever the case may be. And you're on the bottom of the list. Whereas if you just took a minute to say, you know, I bet you this group of clients would really appreciate this service. Do they know I have it? Like, and then you're doing something proactive and you're doing something helpful. So I think what I love about that, because, you know, as accountants, we don't really love the word selling. Like it makes us uncomfortable on so many different levels.
Right.
But we're not. We're just providing them an opportunity to partake in something that's super helpful for them.
Yeah. And you know what? It doesn't always have to be like a product or a service you offer. I'm on this business coach's mailing list, and like I maybe did like one course like a year ago or something, like a group thing. And every December he'll send like a 5-question questionnaire about like where you want to be next year, what are your goals, that you can print out and fill out. And I'm like, that's so freaking smart, because what am I going to do? I'm going to print that out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fill it out about my goals and where I want to be. And then you know who I'm going to think about next time I don't accomplish that goal? That freaking business coach that can help me get there.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. That kind of marketing is so great.
Yeah.
You know, there's one thing that I heard once that I think is such a great idea, and I've never actually put it into action, so that's bad for me, is the value of making connections in terms of how it cements your relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So when I hear that, I think another strategy that I might use with that is I would do it myself, but I might send it to a couple of clients and be like, hey, I did this. I found it super helpful. Made me think of this conversation we had, 6 months ago about like forward thinking and planning. Like, I hope you find it useful.
Yeah.
Costs you nothing, right? And you can probably set up campaigns like that too, I imagine, if you have the right marketing support.
Yeah.
But I think it's about, a lot of things you've said are about knowing your client, knowing your own business. So I think if it was me, one of the things I would take from this conversation is that, like, do a deep dive. Do a deep dive into your business, into your products, into your services. Do a deep dive into, like, who your clients are, what they want. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on doing a deep dive into your competitors? Do you think that's useful or a waste of time?
I mean, you can always learn a little something about how they manage their business, but I think like your unique selling proposition is you are you, and your business is like the way it is, right?
Yeah,
like,
true.
I know that I'm not my competitors. Like, even when talking to my clients, like, they're like, okay, you do things totally different. Like, you listen to us, you go out of your way to source stuff. Like, you do things so differently. And I think that's just, like, because my business is structured differently, right? Like, we are a brand house versus, just a promotional marketer or a social media marketer. Like, we are looking at it full circle.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to appear that way when you sit, like, because anyone can say, oh, my business is full, like, I look at your branding, I look at everything in it, I do it. But, like, until your clients are telling you do it,
Are you doing it?
are you doing it?
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I almost like, it's like client validation or someone validating you on, like, what your brand actually is. Because in my brain, I can think all day long that that's what it is. But until someone, like, says it to me. So instead of looking at your competitors, what I would do is ask your clients for feedback.
Yeah. That's scary, but I bet super valuable.
Yeah. And it doesn't, like, it could be a 3-question questionnaire, but at least it would give you a little bit of clarity or something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I could ask you some rapid fire questions about your quarter 4 marketing audit for your business.
Oh my God, okay.
What line of business, what line of business do you think is your most profitable line of business?
Like what service or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right now, currently, probably social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what are your customers already asking you for that you're not yet providing them?
Social media training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I have tons of, actually, like, will be launching a class because I've had like 10 people in the last month ask for it.
Okay, you need to send me the link.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can you sell in quarter 4 for quarter 1? You know, we all hear about that, like, January slump where no one's doing business and no one's buying anything. So, like, for you or other businesses, like, what could we start selling in quarter 4 to bump our revenue in quarter 1?
Like, I'm just thinking, like, for my business what it might be, but like maybe like a year's marketing plan.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can start selling that now so they get started in January.
Yeah.
You know, because no one wants to, even though a lot of people actually call us in December and are like, guess what? I need marketing. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You probably met with your business coach and your business coach is like, you know what you should do this year?
Marketing.
Yeah, invest in a marketing team. But you should really be starting that in like October. So then you're launched by January.
October, really?
Yeah. Well, like, you'll launch, like, it doesn't take 2 months to do that, but like, so you're like hitting the ground running and can see like the trajectory of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you going to stop promoting because you think it's not working anymore?
I don't know. Business card printing, maybe.
So true. I literally, when I was cleaning out my office, found business cards from like however many years ago, just like scattered everywhere. And honestly, I'm sure at some point I used them, you would think, but now we just kind of send someone an email when we're at the networking event so they have our contact information.
I mean, I still will have business cards for myself, but it's just like not a service that I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, like, we don't do a ton of it, so.
Okay. So I think that you should highlight reel this episode.
Oh, okay.
So what are the top 3 things you want us to take away from this episode?
Yeah. If you are thinking about marketing, start now. Like, don't wait, because the more you wait, the more money you lose. 2, if you're going to have a holiday offer, it shouldn't be a discount. It should be something that maybe is an added service that a client finds valuable instead of you discounting the money you make. And 3, if you are always consistently putting your marketing on a back burner, it is now time to talk to a professional.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we learned a lot about how to take our businesses to the next level in Q4 and Q1. So, like, why don't you put in the comments, like, one thing that you implemented from this episode? We'd be so interested to hear how you all are using, you know, some of the things that you learn here in your own businesses. And we want to celebrate all your successes because, you know, we do that on this podcast. And with that said,
that is your episode of Ambition After Hours. Don't forget to listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Music. We will see you soon.
Later, leaders.
Later, Gators.